the rarest SNES games. What up, Randies? I'm Stan from RandomTens, and today I have one simple question. Why are SNES games so friggin' expensive? In my humble opinion, the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, or SNES for short, is one of the greatest home consoles in gaming history. Home to such masterpieces as A Link to the Past, Final Fantasy VI, and even some memorable hidden gems, this is one of those systems that gamers enjoy playing even in today's three-dimensional climate. But sometimes finding an original version of the games you played as a kid can be extremely costly. Whether you're looking for a nostalgia trip or to complete your gaming library, there's a crazy amount of SNES cartridges that now sell for ridiculous amounts of money, and today we're looking at a few of the most outrageous. Now, not every expensive or collectible SNES game will be included in this showcase, because honestly, there's way too many fetching ludicrous prices right now. But I'll try my best to tackle the ones that I think are the most noteworthy, and the ones I think you guys will enjoy learning about the most. So with that little caveat out of the way, let's get into it. These are the rarest SNES games of all time. Anybody who watches this channel probably could have guessed that Earthbound was going to be on a list like this, because it's sort of become the poster boy for exploding rarity in games. Now, although it was never created with Super Mario World numbers, there were actually a fair amount of Earthbound games produced for North American audiences back in 1995. So why then is this innovative RPG so expensive nowadays? Well, that's actually a really easy answer. Word of mouth, representation in the Super Smash Bros. Series, and a stellar sequel have all helped this cult classic blossom into a pretty popular game that Nintendo fans everywhere want to own. Also, up until 2013, when it was made available on the Wii U Virtual Console, there was no official way to play it, despite fan uproar for years. All of this blended into the perfect recipe for rarity stew, and even today this one still sells for around $800 US with its original box and manual. If you just want it loose, then you'll likely have to spend around $150, but it can be had for cheaper if you find the right auction or seller. Either way, Earthbound has proven itself to be the little game that could, and I'd imagine its popularity in the Nintendo world will only keep growing from here on out. Luckily, this next entry is more of a collector's piece rather than a legitimate game that fans are clamoring to play. In 1993, Nintendo released their first game to use 3D polygon graphics, Star Fox, to audiences around the world, to both critical and commercial acclaim. And one of the main ways that the Big N created hype and awareness for this space adventure was by holding a contest in approximately 2,000 stores across the United States. The grand prize winner took home $15,000 in cash, and a pretty sweet jacket to boot, but the real prize were the cartridges themselves, which were limited to at most 2,000 copies, although it's likely even less. After the competition weekend had come to a close, Nintendo sold the demo-like cartridges to both Nintendo Super Power Supply's catalog and participating Blockbuster stores, where it was purchased for $45. So what do these special competition cartridges cost now? Well, that all depends. If the cartridge was bought through the aforementioned Supplies catalog and sells with the commemorative card included, then you're looking at around $600 US. However, even without the card, the game itself still fetches over $400 loose on a regular basis, which really isn't bad at all for a game that only features 3 levels. Oh, and I know a lot of you are probably wondering about the similar Donkey Kong Country competition carts that sell for just a little bit more. Personally, I think the Star Fox cartridges are much rarer, but if I ever make a second part to this video, DK will most definitely be getting some love. It's no secret that in the late 80s and early 90s, Nintendo had a weird fascination with gaming peripherals. Some were cool, some were lame, and some were just plain bizarre. A perfect example of an odd peripheral is the time Nintendo teamed up with the Life Fitness company to bring the world the Life Cycle Trainer, a stationary fitness bike that allowed consumers to play games by pedaling. And no, I am not making this up. So why am I talking about such a crazy device? Besides the fact that it's obviously the exercise machine of my dreams. Well, in total, only 2 games were ever released for this abomination. The first was Exertainment Mountain Bike Rally, and the second was Exertainment Mountain Bike Rally / Speed Racer Combo Card, which was literally a compilation game that was mostly the first game anyways, with Speed Racer thrown in. That's sort of like making the second episode of Game of Thrones a clip show. Anyways, unsurprisingly, the machine faded into obscurity before it even hit the market, but because of low interest, it's rumored that only 2,000 copies of the compilation cart were produced, making it an extreme rarity for Nintendo collectors everywhere. If you want one to call your own today, it'll run you around $800 US, complete with box, and $300 loose. But hey, that's a small price to pay for a piece of Nintendo history, even if it's just for the lulz. Full disclosure, although there's probably more rare and collectible SNES games out there in total, nothing from that system will ever likely compare with the Nintendo World Championships Gold cartridge or the Stadium Events game that I mentioned in the Rarest NES video a while back. Those two entities have taken on legacies within the industry almost on par with the Holy Grail itself, so yeah, nothing I show off here is going to even touch those mythical treasures. But the Super Nintendo Campus Challenge and Nintendo POWERFEST 94 cartridges come pretty damn close. Now, these two games have a lot in common, which is why I'm grouping them together on this showcase. First, they were both designed specifically to be played in a competition format, similarly to the 1990 Nintendo World Championships. Second, they're both monstrous in appearance and look more like a motherboard than a video game. And finally, and most interestingly, there's only two known to exist in each game's case. That's less than any game I've ever mentioned in the history of this series. They may be unappealing and definitely come out of box, but due to how limited these cartridges are, they both sell for over $12,000. However, that number is taken from one sale that happened a few years back, so it's possible that either of these monsters may now sell for even beyond that. Personally, I would much rather spend 1/10 of that price to add a factory-sealed Earthbound or Chrono Trigger to my collection, but there's no denying that with their unique builds, mysterious pasts, and ridiculous sales histories that the Nintendo POWERFEST 94 and Super Nintendo Campus Challenge are, and will forever be, the rarest SNES games of all time. Well, that's all the time we have for today's episode, and I apologize for leaving some rare games off of the list, but hey, that's what sequels are for. Now, it's no secret that my favorite SNES game of all time is Donkey Kong Country 2, but I want to know what yours is in the comment section below. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at RandomTens for any suggestions or questions, make sure you subscribe and join the Randy Union, and, as I always say, happy hunting, baby rhinos. Oh, what are you still doing here?
Oh.
Well, if that's the case, then maybe you want to check out our celebratory podcast of Pokemon's 20th anniversary that I recorded with my friend Neon. Now, it's not up on the RandomTens channel because we don't do podcasts, but it is up on our old podcast channel, Audio Sloth, so you can check it out by clicking an annotation right around here. Do it if you want to watch. We really wanted to celebrate Pokemon's 20th anniversary, which is officially today, and we hope you enjoy, so check that out if you feel inclined. Anyways, thanks for watching this video, and next week I will have something hopefully even better. Alright, take it easy guys. Bye.